ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Bandai Movie Monster Series, Gamera 2, Advent of Legion, Legion Soldier. Advent of Legion, Attack of Legion, Gamera 2, The Great Bug Quest featuring John Goodman, whatever have you, that's, the figure time. Technically it is tag time first, and here we have an image of Soldier Legion over here with the Kadokawa stamp, Bandai Movie Monster Series. I still hate these big-ass tags, but the poster art on the back of them. Opening the tag up over here, we've got a picture of Soldier Legion and a whole bunch of other stuff on the inside. Now we top load. And no, I still haven't gotten the correct size for these. These are much bigger than the standard top loader, but I keep buying the size that I want, and Amazon keeps sending me a pack of these. This isn't what I asked for, Amazon. Sorry. Don't mean to pitch a tent about top loaders of all things, but there we go. There's the tag. That looks fucking ridiculous. Maybe in time Amazon will send me what I paid for, but until then, let's take a look at the BUUG. So I'm going to make my intentions absurdly clear before we get started. Yet another high contender for one of my favorite figures of the year. I mean, just look at it. Can you really blame me? See, right here, this be looking like Goomba from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but we do have a metallic orange eye with a dark black pupil right there. Little bit of incomplete paint, but look at this detail. My word almighty. From the very insectoid-like face to the very insectoid-like mandibles, I do believe would be the correct term. The work on display here that Bandai put into little Soldier Legion boy, it's high praiseworthy. Very high praiseworthy. Just look at all of the tiny little minute details that were included on this thing. Oh my god, I just wanna bring my slingshot back and toss a Deku nut right into its eye.
Nut in the eye.
Just wanna take a little extra time to talk about these mandibles over here. I mean, look at all that. In the right amount of light, you can practically count every little line and bump on them. Of course, I'm not actually going to do that because I don't want to be here for multitudes of hours, but Bandai, stay killing it. I don't quite remember, but I think these little bulbs over here might have actually been another pair of eyes. Look at all of that amazing little wrinkle work. Look at the top of his horn over here, too. God damn, Bandai. Bandai really went off with Soldier Legion. Taking a look at the body over here, I mean, look at all that beautiful line work and the gloss present. It's so very nice, but it's the armor plating up here that I love even more. I love that it's outlined with this very rusty orange. It's like, this looks intimidating coming at you no matter what, but with the orange on there, it gives it such a cool appearance. While I am very much a fan of Mother Legion's paint and color choices, it's the Legion soldiers that I'm actually quite partial to. This is just it's so damn cool. And what's even cooler is that it's not just present up here, it's going to be present down here too. The detail on the underside of this figure and on the undersides of its legs, I mean, it's nothing short of a masterpiece work right here. This isn't new grounds for Bandai. They've always been just very, very good when it comes to details, but this feels like an absolute next evolutionary step. I'm amazed that this is a vinyl figure. Details, 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 my word. It's just so dang good. These orange accents are going to be on the back as well. As great as all of this looks, I wasn't expecting paint back here. I wasn't even expecting paint back here. And it's just so very welcomed. Thank you so much, Kadokawa and Bandai. Thank you for actually giving a shit about your vinyl releases. Now, I feel like I'm not giving this portion of the figure a lot of love, so just to touch upon it, look at it. It's angular. It's layered. It's just a very interesting design choice. It's extremely memorable, too. I mean, look at that. These bugs were practically made for heavy artillery. Just one of the very rare random moments that I will actually praise an insect for how it looks. I mean, technically, they're extraterrestrial insects, so that does mean something. Just godly. Gee, look at that. Oh, my God. Yep, one of the best looking movie monster series figures of the year already. Now let's take a look at these hind legs over here. More of these rusty orange accents coupled with some very beautiful detail work. The same very much carries on all the way to the tips of these rusty orange hind legs over here. It's awesome. It's fantastic. And when you move them out, you can see even more details will be adorning these legs. Leave it up to Kadokawa and Gamera for really making you question things. Not in the perverse sense, of course, please don't get me wrong, but in the sense that all of our vinyl figures could be looking this fantastic. And don't get me wrong, they absolutely all do look fantastic for the most part. But here, with Legion Soldier, it just feels all the better. I really can't believe this is a vinyl figure. A $20+ vinyl figure. Now we're not done with paint and detail yet, because we still gotta talk about these over here. More rusty orange accents, more fantastic detailing going on here. On the bottom as well, if you'd actually be surprised to know that. And I'd communicate that I love the detail in between all the legs and everything, the armor plating. It's so good. And it's friggin' everywhere too. Honestly, despite this figure not being the flashiest thing to come out of the movie monster series, this is just one of those releases that I feel like I could talk about for hours on end. I absolutely hate bugs, but this buggy right here is the exception, and I'm going to give paint and detail 2 solid stars. You ever just see something done up so simply and it just works? That's Legion Soldier over here. Or Soldier Legion, I'm sorry. I can't get over it. I would love to see a plethora of paint variants for this thing. Anyway, articulation. Not gonna get anything at the head. The mandibles over here are very, very malleable. Don't think they're meant to be articulated, so don't go about twisting them. These either over here. Basically, anything that's not a leg isn't going to move on this thing. This pair of legs, or arms, I guess, can indeed swivel all the way around to the back, and it can probably fully rotate, but as you can see, they do collide. Maybe if you actually move the hind leg out of the way, Rob. Oh yeah, full rotation. These hind legs back here will also be able to rotate all the way to the front. Yeah, you guessed it. Both sides. And if you move this out of the way, I mean, no matter what you do with these legs, you're gonna get such a weird display from this thing. I love it. And then we're gonna get the obvious suit actor legs over here, which will be able to fully rotate all the way around. It's not much, but let me tell you something, friends and neighbors. It's something. It's cinema. Solid star in terms of articulation. Size comparison-wise, this might not be the largest figure in terms of height, but in terms of mass and wideness, it's a very, very big figure with all these different legs and moving bits and bobs. I actually feel like posing this guy is very much possible, and you could get some cool-looking variations of how he's supposed to look. He or she, I'm not sure. Never in my days, even during this Gamera resurgence that we're currently going through, did I ever think we'd ever see a Legion Soldier figure from the movie monster series, yet here we are. And it's impressive from start to finish. I know these things look different across many different pieces of merch, and I really do mean what I said. I would love to see Bandai actually put out color variants of these. I know it's definitely not going to happen, but to see one like one of those minifigures that was like all blue and glossy, oh my god, I would be all over that like ants at a picnic. Bug joke! And I think this is just yet another example of just how serious Kadokawa is about their vinyl figure representations. While Toho did a pretty fine good job with both Ebirah and Ghidorah, I feel Legion Soldier over here easily eclipses both of them. And that's coming from an Ebirah fanboy. But anyway, there's been so many instances where we got cool looking promos and... No, that's SH Monster Arts. There's been so many instances of movie monster series promos where they just don't look all that great and the hype for the figure is kind of mid to basic level, and you get it in hand and it's like, holy shit, how much I pay for this? That's exactly what Legion Soldier is looking like here. I love it so very, very much. Can't wait to add it to the Gamera shelf. And that, friends and neighbors, is about enough out of me. This concludes the movie monster series drop series of reviews. 3 back-to-back videos for 3 consecutive nights. I do so hope you all enjoyed the content. Now it's time for me to take a break and then get back to Necathon and a few other unrelated reviews to that of Necathon. Social media, Patreon, $1, all content. And when next we meet, it's either going to be Evangelion or 84 Goji. Probably Evangelion. So I'll see you there. Peace.